Good afternoon, good morning.
I don't know if you have anything left to say after your speech after the last game.
Yeah, there's not much left for me, honestly, to say. You guys know how I feel, but I was still thinking about what I said after that game, and as much as I am proud of the team and how much we did work and whatnot, I don't think it's still not fun being in the 16th place either. So I just wanted to make that kind of a point where I'm not just, coming in here every year 16th and we're happy about it, So as much as we did work hard and we battled for each other, we want playoffs and I want to win here. So it still sucks coming in here and not making playoffs. So
what happened this year, Mackenzie, that you're going to feel going into the summer gets you guys closer to that goal that you talked about?
The big thing for our group that we've talked about is the belief in the culture. And I think from, my first year here, then the second year, we've taken big steps in that area, I think. We got guys that want to be here, and we got good players, and now the youth is coming in, and I think they've done an absolute great job. Like, you got Wolfie and Maddie and Czar, and obviously we got to see a few of the kids in LA, and they were great. So that's a positive, but I think that's where we can take the next step. But there's also the side of me where, I'm 31 here, and, we got a lot of cap, and we can get guys here. Guys want to, come and play, for Calgary now. There might have been a time here where people weren't sure if they wanted to come and play, I guess. Guys we're getting traded. We came in, and I think we've established that this is a great place to come and play. Obviously, the new building helps a lot, but there's a bright future here. It's a great place to be. So, that's another area where we maybe take a step as well.
And so can you kind of speak to that narrative? Last season at this time, we were talking about guys leaving, and you're saying now it's the opposite, that this is maybe more of a destination place that guys want to come to?
Yeah, that's what I think for myself, at least, and I know Colsey and Bax has been here a long time and loves it here, but I didn't understand the narrative why guys might have not wanted to play here. This is a great city with great fans and a bright future. So I say it to everybody, and I talked to Frosty and Farabee, and I asked them, do you enjoy it here? Like, you've been here for a month, and they absolutely love it here. So it's a great place. It really is. There's nothing bad about this place at all. The sun's always shining too, which is a positive. But I'm happy that we got to change that narrative a little bit since I've been here.
Sorry, we talked to Rasmus a little bit earlier, and he's obviously got a bit of a decision to make, him and the organization, in terms of being eligible for an extension. But he also let us know he was playing with a broken foot for the last dozen games or so. What did you see out of his willingness to compete and the leadership that he brought to the game?
Leadership, culture again. That's we battle together, this group. And Ross, another guy that down the stretch wasn't 100%, and if he wanted to, maybe he could have said, I got a broken foot. I'm not. No, he wanted to come out there and battle and try to win and make playoffs with this group, and shows a lot and says a lot about the leadership in that room. And I know Ross has obviously big decisions to make, but he's a great teammate. He's a great player. I really enjoy having Ross around. He makes me feel comfortable. He's one of those guys when I first got here that really opened up to me, and I'd love to have him back here. So I'll be right in his ear, hoping that he'd stay. And he's a guy that you don't want to give up either. So nothing but great things to say about Ross and his leadership.
Speaking of injuries, there was a game a couple weeks ago where you blocked a shot in overtime, and I was getting ready to write Weegar's out for the year. It looked like you were really badly. Were you playing through some stuff?
I got some bruises for sure on the body, but actually, knock on wood, because I always get scared. But my body's in pretty good shape right now, and there's bumps and bruises, and I like playing with little sickness or a little soreness. It makes me feel a little bit better going out there. So I'm all good. I wasn't battling as much as Ross was.
Weegar.
We keep hearing words like identity and culture. How would you describe the identity that you guys created and the culture that you built this season?
Describe the identity and the culture. I guess it's really just, it comes from backs. It obviously just comes from the belief together. I think Vladdy had a quote after one of the games, and it was, our team isn't on paper, skilled, and we might not beat you, 7-1 or 6-5, but he said we have a lot of heart and a lot of pride, and that kind of spoke to me because that's kind of how our identity and culture is pride, a lot of heart and courage, and that's what we're going to need. Obviously, some nights you wish you kind of had a lot more skill and we could have an easier game, but we played playoff hockey all year, and that's kind of our culture and our identity here is, playoff hockey all year long, and that belief and the love for one another, the family culture and the family vibe, and as long the ladies have a great group together as well, and so do we, and everybody gets along. It goes from the equipment to medical to the coaches, and it's a great group everywhere. So that's kind of our culture and identity. It's just a big family in there.
Is it possible to explain how that matters when more talent eventually is getting at? Like, the idea is to bring in,
of course,
more talent. So what that foundation you talk about, why does it matter moving forward?
Just to play the right way with the talent. If you can have both, I guess I can go back to Florida, and you had all the talent when I was there, but we couldn't. The defensive side, there were times where we didn't play the right way at times. If you can have the talent and the skill and play the right way, I mean, it sounds like championship, so.
Weegar, how did you feel about your year?
Thanks.
Right now it's so hard to answer the questions after this speech. I know, this year, I did probably step back from the last year, and I think but it's not bad year by the team. We did step really forward with the team. How Weegar said, it's really hard to actually say it more than this guy on the right, because he already said a lot of good things about our team, and I think we're in the right way, how he said.
Did you feel the last couple weeks of the season like you found your game?
Yeah, last couple of weeks, it's better than my all season, and I think if I'm playing the same way all season, it will be better.
Mackenzie, any consideration to going to Worlds this year?
Well, I just want to touch on Igor there. He did find his game a little bit with the salmon and the risotto, so he'll be good to go next year right away.
If it's not sashimi.
Yeah. Worlds, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna head over there and represent the country and win another gold, hopefully.
Awesome. Thank you.